And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of Korean StarCraft League KSL week number 6. I'm of course your host, Light VIP, and I'll be starting off the broadcast alone today, alone for the time being, but we have some amazing matches before us. Exclamation mark be in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves, because we have a stacked tournament as we always have every single week of the KSL. And let's just get right into it, because spawning in the top right hand corner of Royal Blood, we have the Taiwanese Protoss player representing Team Starlight Twinkle. It is Nice. And spawning in the top left hand corner of Royal Blood, we have his opponents. We have a player that we've been featuring time and time again, week after week, the up and coming Korean Zerg player representing Team Abydos. It is Mondo. And this is gonna be a little bit of a rematch for those who were here a couple of weeks ago. My god, there was an intense series between Mondo and Nice, and Mondo was able to take it in the end. He was able to bring down the best player in all of Taiwan, and that was a really good result here for Mondo. Probably the biggest result he's had in his career so far. Again, he's still up and coming. He's on a pro team. He has that kind of support structure behind him, but he's still looking to prove himself. He's still looking to qualify for GSL and, you know, be a part of a mainstay and really have a breakout performance in the Korean scene. So we'll see if he can do it back to back, week after week, if he can take down the best in Taiwan. And as we get into this game, of course, I didn't even know if this is how it is, but Maximo, feliz cumpleaños for your friend. I'm not gonna go further than that. Shaking my head, Maximo, shaking my head. Gah. Oh god, but yes, we are going to be continuing here, and I'm just really excited to see the rematch, basically, because I'm sure, again, Nice was the favorite the last time they faced. Nice is still the favorite, I would say. It was an upset for Mondo to bring him down, but now it's about consistency. You know, can he do it week after week? Can he do it multiple times in a row? I was kind of talking along a similar vein when casting Eric versus Dark, where Eric was able to bring down Dark 2 weeks ago, and then last week he had a rematch. It's like, okay, can he do it again? You know, was it a fluke? Was it a one-off? Or can he, you know, make a go of it and actually just show his dominance over Dark in the ZVZ? And he did. He performed even better. he 2-0'd Dark. It was crazy. Likewise, I believe last time Mondo 2-1'd Nice in a best of 3. Can Mondo do it again? Or do it better? Let's find out. I'm here to bear witness. Across the map, standard opener here from Nice. We have a star gate opener after a gate expand, as we should expect. There's the third Nexus on the way, so very economic, very standard, very macro opener here from Nice. Nothing out of the ordinary. From the side of Mondo, we expect to see more of a timing from him. That's kind of what he was excelling at last week against Nice, and also against Classic. He'd be hitting these very potent, very strong Roach timings or Roach all-ins off of around 66 drones, and honestly, he was working, like, it was doing pretty well for him, to be honest. Like, he was finding a lot of success with that sort of thing. He was even finding later timings as well. What I'm getting at is that Mondo wasn't necessarily looking to play the late game. He does hit these later timings, these later all-ins, looking to catch the Protoss off guard, unawares, and try and capitalize on that. We'll see if he can try and find that again, bearing in mind that, again, I'm sure Nice doesn't have a lot of experience with Mondo, but now he has him on his radar. Now Nice is on notice. Lings are going to rock up and chip away at the Nexus a little bit, at least here, just, you know, forcing the Oracle back home. But the Oracles are across the map. 2 of them have already joined forces. They're headed towards the main base. Spore is going to be done in time. We have 2 queens in the main, but what about the third? What about the natural? So far, 1 drone goes down, but only 1. 3 queens here at the third base. The Oracles do no damage, and really good queen positioning here from Mondo, predicting the pathway of that Oracle, and as soon as the Overlord saw them, the rest of the queens are able to reposition as well. So beautifully handled here for the time being. Likewise, Nice he only killed 1 drone and 1 creep tumor, but the oracles are still alive, and they can go in and deal even more damage later on. That's another important part here from the Protoss, is that we can see he's rotating around. He can hit the natural, he can go back into the third, he can look to deny the fourth base as well. So there's still a lot of potential here for our Taiwanese Protoss. Meanwhile, speaking of timing attacks and roaches, Mondo is cutting drones here at 48. We've got 7 roaches on the way. We've got a lot of lings as well. We're looking for a surround here. We force the pulsar beam from this oracle, so already a lot of NG is wasted as Mondo is getting ready for a massive counterattack here. This isn't a force just to defend. This is a force to push out. We have roaches. We have a flood of lings on the way as well. Mondo wants to not just clean this up, but also break the third base. Once again, we force the pulsar beam to be activated. These oracles are running out of energy. The queens are waddling across the map. Mondo is going all in, and Nice doesn't know. He's got a forge on the way. He's got 4 gates on the way. 1 shield battery. He hasn't seen this. The oracles dip in, and once again, they are distracted. They won't be used at home defensively, and now Nice realizes what's going on. The jig is up. The roaches are here. Overcharge has popped. A lot of lings going down a little bit prematurely. Maybe an overextension from Mondo to begin with. But now here he comes with the rest of his army. He's going to be looking for us around. Another 4 shield batteries are on the way. Oh my god. Nice taking this very seriously, but it's too late. The lings are in. The wall is not a wall. The oracles, again, don't have a lot of energy remaining. Not anymore. The queens are having a hard time here against these stalkers, but here we go. The lings are coming in to reinforce. The queens barely holding on. They cannot transfuse. The stalker count is still looking very healthy. Meanwhile, the lings in the natural base, oh, they haven't really done too much damage. Caught between hitting the third and hitting the natural. Mondo had a really hard time picking and choosing what he wanted. In the end, he doesn't deal any economic damage. The natural is safe and sound. The third as well. The Roach Queen army is crumbling. Ugh, we have another warping of Zealots here. Nice cleans this up, and now Nice is in a pretty dominant position here. Again, Mondo, it's really difficult to pick between the natural and the third base, and based on how unprepared Nice was, maybe it would have been a wiser choice to go for the army. I know the overcharge did deflect Mondo initially, but then he focused on the natural, and I mean, he got the cyber core, which is nice, but but we have charge on the way. Behind this, Mondo, his drone count is in the gutter. His drone count is not what it needs to be right now. 49 workers is all he has to work with. The counterattack may just end the game. Nice. He weathered the worst of it. He weathered the storm, and now smooth sailings from here. Mondo is going to try and muster a defense. We've got more roaches on the way. We've got +1 range and roach speed. Take notice that Mondo isn't really droning too much. We've got 2 drones on the way, but only 2 drones. This shows us that I don't think Mondo intends to saturate this 4th base. I think he's going to go for another big roach push, but we'll see, because he's cranking out a couple more. There we go, 10 more roaches on the way. More gases are being taken. Okay, it looks like he wants to try and stabilize here, which means Mondo is going to be the defender, and against this army, we'll see if he can defend. Without banelings, Zealots are going to have their way with these roaches. And there we go. The charge-ups are rushing on forward. The queens are coming to the front lines. But there's just too much Protoss. The boys are being pulled into Archons as well. Nice is looking for his revenge. GG gets called. And Nice takes game number 1. Oof. After a very tight defense from that all-in from Mondo, we saw the natural was being broken at least a little bit, but Nice did a great job at warping in defensively, at cranking out as many shield batteries as possible at a moment's notice, or at a very short notice, to be fair. And Mondo, again, like he did a really good job at hiding it. He hid his all-in for so long, but you know, we need to try and focus our attention at times. It did seem as if he was trying to keep the Protoss army busy, and then lings would flood in and maybe get some economic damage, but Nice, his warp-ins at his natural were where they needed to be, and yeah, Mondo wasn't able to crack the defenses of Nice in the end, but that was only game number 1. We have plenty more to come. Oh. Let's go, Fabi, let's go. Vamanos. As game number 2 is going to be on Gressvan. Okay, interesting. I do think that this lends better towards these roach timings and these all-ins from the Zerg, just because the bases are so much more open and spread out and vulnerable to these pushes. So I think this is best case scenario for Mondo. Unfortunately, it feels like he showed his hand a little bit. It feels like he kind of revealed that he is willing to once again be a very aggressive player, and Nice is gonna be that much more aware and that much more alert, looking for these signs of an all-in. But we'll see. We shall see. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Greswan, we have the best player in all of Taiwan, the Taiwanese Protoss. He is red, representing his new team, Starlight Twinkle. Salty. It is Nice. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Greswan, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the up-and-comer himself. He was able to bring down Nice last week, but can he do it again? Can he bring it back in this series? Representing Team Abydos, it is Mondo. See, base habit in the chat, like from Mondo Burger. Yo, I used to have fond memories of watching Good Burger as a kid. I recently tried, I think it popped up on Netflix like a couple of months ago, and I tried rewatching Good Burger. Mate, it's not I couldn't do it. I couldn't sit through it all. I was like, oh, I watched this. There's a lot of meme potential, don't get me wrong, but I couldn't sit through it all again, mate. I couldn't do it. I still love it. I will watch it again. I tried, Poppy. I tried. Again, I loved it as a kid. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't watch the whole thing. I think I stopped like 20 minutes in or something. I had to pull out, Poppy. I had to pull out. But maybe Mondo is a fan. You know, maybe he's all about that Mondo burger, you know? Ay. He's looking for that special sauce. Oh boy. Alright. As we're gonna be continuing this series. It is cringe, yeah. I guess you have to like revel in the cringe, you know? You have to embrace just the corniness and the silliness of the movie. I understand. I get it. I understand. I just, you know, not for me. Not for me, Poppy. Not for me. Oh god. As we're getting back into this game here, and so far again, pretty standard openers from both parties here, as to be expected. I don't really expect things to change up until the early to mid game. I don't really expect Nice to go for a Twilight Council opener, and there it is. We have a Stargate opener once again. There's no reason for Nice to change things up. We should be seeing an Oracle opener into a second Oracle, into that third base timing as well. But we'll see, because at any moment, Nice and Protoss, they can kind of divert their attention. They can switch up their build, and they can, at the drop of a hat, just be aggressive. So we'll see. We'll see what the follow-up is going to be. Meanwhile, a bit of a probe scout just confirming the saturation on the forward base. He doesn't get confirmation that there is a third, but he can make some assumptions, and this adept scout is going to be confirming that is going to be hitting or slipping in between the bases to get an eye on that. Oh, let's go, Poppy. Let's go. We do have that Oracle opener as expected, to be honest. Like, again, this is as standard can be in current meta. This is kind of the PvZ that Hero has shaped for everyone starting last year. It's just been what everyone's been going for. Long gone are the days of Void Ray openers. Twilight Council Glaive Adept openers have fallen out of fashion as well. We see them, you know, maybe like a couple of times a tournament still, you know, to mix things up and to slip into a long series. But for the most part, like, this is standard play in PvZ. Meanwhile, we do have that Overlord being sniped here at the natural. It was nice for Nice to switch things up a little bit. He went for a Stalker first, or sorry, a Stalker second, instead of a second Adept. This does mean that your third base is a little bit more exposed, but you're able to do something like this. You're able to kill this Overlord and deny scouting. Speaking of denying scouting, though, 3 Lings somehow slip in. Oh, force the activation of the Oracles, and they do get a full scout. They confirm the Stargate, but they don't get eyes on how fast the Twilight Council is behind this. What I mean by that is that this is a double Oracle opener, not a triple Oracle opener. This means that, again, we're going to have a little bit less to take control of the ground. We're going to have less to defend this third base. So Nice is being a little bit greedy. He's cutting some corners to go into a faster Twilight Council. And I imagine this is going to be for Blink, but, you know, we'll keep an eye on it. could always be for charge. There we go. Blink is on the way. We have 2 Adepts threatening the natural. We have the Oracles going into the main base. The Adepts, they do shade in, but the Lings are waiting for them. The Adepts are going to be going down, but at the same time, the Queen's also in position in the main base. The Oracles are having a hard time finding some damage here. Even here at the third, they get 3 drones in total, but they do take some hull damage. Oof. Overall, really solid defense here from Mondo to be able to keep up with the multi-pronged aggression to deflect Mondo. Behind this, Mondo is able to get away with that greed, and again, he didn't really have much to protect this third, but, you know, there was no aggression, so he's able to just saturate this base. Oh, the pylon is a little bit misplaced and is going to force some inefficient mining, so gonna have to kill it. Smooch. Not ideal, but it's okay. It's only 100 minerals, you know, we can deal with this. At the same time, Lings, they do check the natural. They confirm the Stalker count, so he knows it's not going to be a charge opener. He knows it's not a Glaive Adept follow-up either, which does happen from time to time. Instead, it is going to be Blink Stalker. So again, pretty standard, very reminiscent of the last game. Oh, the Lings are coming in a little bit prematurely. A couple of them do get shaved off here. Creep is being receded, but the Queens are going to be able to force this back and respread the creep momentarily. Behind this, +1 melee and roach speed. Mondo going to be macroing up a little bit more here. We have a 4th base on the way. We are droning. We are saturating our bases. So a very kind of different approach this time from Mondo. And as we get into this, massive shout out to Canuck in the chat. Canuck, even Captain Canuck, thank you so much for the raid. I hope you had a great time. Were you hosting the Magic Cup Masters tournament? If so, I hope it went well. I hope you had some great games. Hope you had a great time casting, and thank you so much for the raid. Always appreciate it. Always appreciate it, Bobby. Less than three. For those who don't know, shout out to Captain Canuck. He does host and cast these amateur events for Masters players. Well, really, anyone can join as long as they're not GM or they're not above a certain MMR. But definitely check it out if you're interested in competing, if you want motivation to play, motivation to improve, or if you just want to be a part of that tournament setting with a bit of a skill cap that's more within your range, then yeah, check it out. Check out Captain Canuck. Great cast. Great tournament. Oh. As we continue here in this game, we do have some more reinforcements coming in across the map to looking to deny this 5th base. At the same time, we have a Ling run by, but nah, we got an overcharge. Nice is perfectly safe back at home. The 5th is cancelled, thankfully, not killed. Oh, but Mondo, again, unlike game number 1, he has been able to saturate his bases. He is working on these upgrades. I do appreciate that he's taking a different approach. I was worried that, especially on Gressvan, he was going to go for a 66 drone roach all in, but Mondo is looking for a later game instead. He's much more defensive, much more macro oriented, much more willing to accept this kind of aggression from Nice, maybe swallow it up and go for a bit of a counterattack. At least that's the goal here for Mondo as he's looking to max out. Meanwhile, across the map, the Oracles dip in for a little bit more damage. Bearing in mind, we only had 2 Oracles made this game, and over time, they haven't gotten an insane amount of damage, but all up, that's like, what, 9 drone kills. It slowly does add up over time. Very great use of these Oracles over the course of this game from Nice. Meanwhile, Mondo is working on his assault. +1 range is on the way, +2 melee as well. The rocks are being dealt with. This is spotted by Nice, and we can see he's rotating, he's repositioning here to receive this. I don't know if Mondo is really going to commit here. He's going to confirm that oh god, he's committing. I was not expecting that. Biles are going to be connecting. Bailings are going to try and roll in, but we have a wall of Stalkers to stop him, and as a result, Mondo is going to be forced back. Oh, and we're losing a lot of Roach Ravager in the retreat. A questionable fight there from Mondo. Oh god. I assumed he was only going to knock down these rocks and that's it, but no, he just went all in anyway, and now Nice has a lot of momentum going his way. He's going for a massive counterattack. We don't really have that much Ling Roach left to defend. The Ravagers were sniped earlier. We have Bailings rolling in, but what do they do against Stalkers? Nothing. The Stalkers, they just take the Bailings to the face. Zelts come in to reinforce. And with the aggressive blink forward here, I don't think Mondo has enough to hold on. Biles are not going to be connecting. Nice sick blinks towards the end there. Mondo is going to force this back. Oh. And now suddenly, okay, no, never mind. I was like, yo, can he push this back? Nah, man, we got Zelts to reinforce. Queens are falling left and right as well. We may not have a Prism to reinforce on the front lines, but regardless, Nice still is taking a pretty efficient fight. Ooh. As a lot of roaches go down, more stalkers come in to reinforce, and Mondo, he's just been bleeding out too much. He doesn't have what it takes to keep on pushing and to try and punish this fourth base. He has to just fall back here to the safety of his creep. And we have a hive on the way. With this, we can get straight into adrenal glands. We can try and tech up as well. We don't have a Hydra Den, so we don't really have access to lurkers or anything like that. 3-3 would be great for him, as Mondo is looking to maybe even try and set up a surround here. We don't have too many stalkers, and yeah, Nice is gonna have to commit. There is no way out of this. There's no way back. Mondo once again gonna try and cut off this army, but Nice is picking off so much here. What was that? 2-3 overlords, lings, roaches. Oh my god. And there we go. He's gonna go for the recall in the end. Is gonna bleed out a decent amount of these stalkers. And now I worry a little bit here for Nice. So the kind of composition that he's been going for is very gateway heavy. As we can see, he isn't relying on a lot of Robotech or even Archons. It's just Zealots and Stalkers. And the power of this Protoss composition is to snowball and trade efficiently. But Nice has been bleeding out and trading a lot with his army, and as a result, the supply is heavily in favor of Mondo. Nice just has been bleeding out far too many Stalkers over the course of this game. 36 Stalkers going down. The Protoss has to be more efficient with this. And now we see a massive Road Ravager army going for this counterattack. The Banelings do not get into the mineral line, but that may not matter anyway. He's going for the army. He's going for the Stalkers. We have a couple of Zealots coming in. They're being warped in as well. Banelings do get into the mineral line. 8 probes is going to be going down. The Road Ravager is going to keep on pushing as well. Mondo re-maxing behind this. Mate, he may be losing a lot of roaches, but it doesn't even matter. He's got more where that came from. The third base has been broken. The natural as well is compromised. GG gets called. And Mondo takes game number 2, tying up the series 1-1. Oh, GG. Things are looking scary for Mondo, especially at his 5th base. Like after his failed attack at the 4th, I don't think it was a bad choice for Nice to go for that counterattack. He was honestly trading really well, killing a lot of roaches, a lot of ravagers, but arguably he stuck around for too long. He also had that follow-up push where he was caught out in the middle of the map with his stalkers, not too many of them, where he went for the recall, where he also just bled out more and more units, and he just wasn't able to build up that death ball army of stalkers, of charge lots, of Archons as well. I'm surprised we didn't see any Archons morphed in. We had Templar Archives, but we didn't really have the opportunity to morph in any High Templar or any Archons. And yeah, really nicely done by Mondo. A really nice change of pace as well. If you remember, game 1, Mondo did go for an all-in of 48 drones, just Roach Ling. He walked the queens across the map, and he found that the defense of Nice was just too good, too strong, even though Nice didn't even see it coming. Nice was not prepared in game 1, and he defended beautifully. Here in game 2, Mondo just having a different approach, just more willing to receive, defend, and then counterattack after he's able to take a good fight. So yeah, really nicely done here by Mondo to have that different approach to the game, to find success, and to force the ace match. Ooh. Let's go, Papi. Let's go. He did eat some nasty biles. He did. Did happen. It's very fun. Enjoy these awesome games. Nice with the... thank you, Captain. Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh. Shout out to everyone else showing up in the chat. Rowbags in the chat. Just Cry as well. Welcome. Good to see you. And interesting, we do have a very different map in game number 3. It is going to be Altitude for the ace match. I'm a little bit shocked that this map wasn't vetoed by either player. Skytoss has been a little bit prevalent on Altitude. Likewise, a lot of Protoss players, or a lot of players in general, have disliked this map just because of how open it is, how much easier it is for a Zerg player to establish their side of the map and gain map control as well to force more defensive play. Yeah, this is one of the more vetoed maps out there, so I appreciate that we're seeing it here today. I appreciate that neither Mondo or Nice are afraid of Altitude. They want to embrace it. They like it, Papi. They like it. Let's go. So we're going the distance. We are going all the way. Ace match once again. Week after week, these two players have been going back and forth. Remember, as a reminder, last week Mondo did eliminate Nice from KSL. Can he do it again? Or is our Taiwanese Protoss going to get his revenge as spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Altitude, we have the best player in all of Taiwan. Step aside, Haas, because we have the red Protoss representing Team Starlight Twinkle. It is nice. And spawning. In the top right-hand corner of Altitude, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player representing Team Abydos, the up-and-comer himself. It is Mondo. Let's go, Papi. Let's go. Again, Mondo, he's relatively new to the Korean scene. He has been playing for he's been putting in a lot of hours, and he's been playing in every single online tournament that he can get his hands on for practice, to improve, to really get that tournament setting experience that he needs. And he's even lucky enough to be a part of a pro team. He was on Club NV before this, back before it was acquired and the ownership or the sponsors did change. Now he's on Abydos, you know, the same team as Cure, the same team as Creator, SOS, Dongregu. You love to see it. So Mondo, he has a really good support structure behind him. He has a lot of good practice partners as well, but you know, you still need to put in the hours, you still need to grind and put in the hard work if you want to get to that level of play, if you want to break into that Korean scene. And that is what he is here to do. And taking down a player like Nice is definitely a good accolade. Like Nice, he goes toe-to-toe with those Koreans, by the way. You know, I don't say he's the best player in Taiwan for no reason. Like he's been getting some really good results. I remember I think it was either Home Story Cup, I think it was Home Story Cup, or maybe even the DreamHack group stage. But Nice, he 2-0'd Clem, for example. Like he's been getting some really, really good results over the past 6 months. Nice, an amazing player in his own right. But maybe in some of the other matchups more than this one here, you know. Mondo, he's been able to find some chinks in the armor. He's been able to find some weaknesses here in Nice's play. We'll see if he can do it again. Oh. Here we go. And as we get into this, again, standard openers all around. Mondo, hatch, gas, pull, third base on the way. No early bailing busts or roach timings, especially on Altitude. It wouldn't be a wise choice. I was talking about it. But Altitude, of course, is the largest map in the map pool. Big, wide open spaces in the center of the map. The bases themselves are just really spread out across the map as well. It can be really difficult to, I mean, there are a lot of bases to take for one, but it can sometimes be difficult to like bounce between base and base and from side to side to defend against these multi-prong attacks that can come into play here on this map as well in this game. So because of that, I feel like early timings and early aggression just isn't really, it doesn't lend towards this map specifically. It's not ideal. It's, yeah, it can be difficult to pull off. Oh, as the first adept is going to get taken down in the main base, only getting one drone kill. Nicely done. Meanwhile, across the map, Nice just going for a Stargate opener again. Makes plenty of sense, especially on Altitude. I would be shocked if we saw like a Twilight Council opener into Glaive Adepts on Altitude. It'd be crazy. That's what Haas would do. That's what Haas would do. Not Nice, not Nice. He's too nice for that. Oh, he's too mannered. Oh. Meanwhile, this Stalker getting caught out here, and oh, the Stalker is gonna go down. A little bit baited by this Overlord. The Stalker was trying to focus it down, but the Link showed up just in time to punish it. The Overlord survives, and the Stalker dies. So, a good trade overall by Mondo, especially because he kept this Overlord alive. This Overlord, in all intensive purposes, should be dead. it should be gone, Papi, but it is the one that lived. Let's go. Oh, meanwhile, we have our second Oracle on the way. As to be expected, there's that Twilight Council again. Pretty fast Twilight Council, all things considered. Is going to be in favor of, or we're going to favor this Twilight Council over the third Oracle instead. So we're going to have a little bit less to apply pressure, but we're going to get into Blink a little bit faster. We'll keep our eye out for the Forge timing as well for those upgrades. I've noticed that Nice also likes to delay his Forge in favor of, again, more Stalkers and faster Blink. Meanwhile, two Adepts do shade into the third base. Oh, the target firing is pretty damn good. 3 drones go down. Could have been a lot worse, but here we go. The Oracles are dipping into the main base. We have a Stasis Trap instead, and it is going to go off, but only on a single drone. The nice crisis management by Mondo in the end. Nice being forced back. Oh, he's gonna get one more drone. He's gonna take a bit of hull damage here. He's gonna slip between the bases looking for another worker, but we are out of energy. We can't really do too much more. 4 workers in total for 2 adepts. Not bad, not bad. Oh, as we actually are gonna be going back into a 3rd Oracle here, and there's that Forge that we were talking about as well. Looks like maybe this game Nice is gonna be a little bit less aggressive. I'm curious when his 4th base is gonna be taken here. I'm curious how active he's gonna be on the map. He's moving out to begin with here because the Oracles do support his Stalkers quite well. He can quickly clean up any kind of Lings that go for us around, but with 3 Stalkers, like, this is still a little bit scary. Like, this is ambitious. We have more coming, sure, but still. Very bold move here by Nice. He's gonna try and focus down the 4th base, and oh, he does force a cancel. Oh, but the Ling's gonna be able to lock everything else down. We have a recall, but 2 Stalkers go down. Was this worth it? I mean, canceling the 4th for 2 Stalkers, it's not like the 4th had that much progression on it though, so maybe it was worth it in the end. At least we didn't lose any Oracles. At least we didn't lose too many more of these Stalkers. As we're getting set up defensively here, we have our Gateway Explosion cannons, shield batteries, +1, the works. And I love this from Mondo. Again, Altitude and Ancient Cistern are 2 very good maps for this. For Spires. For Mutas, Bobby. For Mutas. There's so much room to traverse here. This map favors drop play. Likewise, it favors Mutas as well. The Lings go for a counterattack. They do delay the 4th base. They do force a cancel. Ooh, but we have a little bit of a miss rally here. Mondo. Oh no. The drones. This is not where you want to be. Oh, 5 drones going down. That is a little bit brutal. Not what we want to be seeing here. Mondo getting a little bit too excited. The drones just on a bit of an excursion. Died. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. It's not the worst thing. It was only 5 drones. It could have been a lot more than that, but still not what we want to be seeing. The Spire is done. Mutas are on the way. Before that happens, though, Nice is going to be pushing onto creep, going to be applying that pressure. The Queens and the Roaches here, though, it looks like there should be enough to fend this off. Oh. At the same time, we had a bit of a Zealot run by on the left-hand side. It does also get cleaned up, and Mondo has successfully defended, and now he has the Mutas. The Mutas are coming out. This has been unscouted. We have a shield battery at the 3rd base and cannons. What do we have in the main? Nothing in the main, nothing in the natural. These Mutas can do a lot of damage. There are 10 Mutas on the map. At the same time, the Stalkers are moving in. Ooh, they do catch a good chunk of Roaches. Ooh. 4 to 5 Roaches going down instantly, but Nice is still not ready for this. He was not able to scout the Spire. He doesn't know about the Mutas. He's just looking for map control. He's not pushing into any of the bases, so Mondo has gotten away with this, and he has a lot of potential for probe kills. He's got to make up for those 5 drones that were killed in the middle of the map. Avenge them, Papi. Go, Papi, go. Stalkers pushing onto creep, and I'm sure Mondo is waiting for the moment when Nice commits to a fight, and then there we go. The Mutas are diving in. Now Mondo can focus on the frontal assault. The Mutas, they do get into the main base. They do force a recall as well. A lot of Stalkers getting caught out in the middle of the map. Nice's attention has successfully been split up here. 14 probes going down, and the Mutas, they bounce between the main and the 3rd. At the same time, Mondo has a lot of momentum going his way. He can even push into the 3rd if he wanted to, but no, he's going to back off instead. He's going to consolidate his army, get some reinforcements, and go in again. But this has already worked out. This has already paid for itself. 14 probes, mate. And all those Stalkers. Here we go. Mondo going to be rotating over towards the right-hand side. This 4th base is looking very exposed. We have 1 cannon. If we wait a little bit longer, more defensive structures will be set up here. Here we go. We have an aggressive Blink on forward. A lot of these Mutas are going to be going down, but that's okay. We don't care about the Mutas. Not anymore. It's all about the Ling Roach. The Lings, the Roaches, and the Ravagers. We have an overcharge. The cannon is going to be going down. Zealots come in to reinforce here. Nice. Can he hold on? Pushing up a ramp into Roach Ravager is going to be difficult, but that's a lot of Stalkers, and he's going for the surround. Mondo just doesn't have enough here. He was supply block for a moment as well. Balanced down an Oracle. Oh my god. I wasn't expecting that. Mondo is forced back. Nice didn't lose a lot of workers, but he did lose some side defense. He lost a shield battery, a cannon. He's not rebuilding either. He's focusing on his army instead. He wants to go for a fight, but Mondo is maxing out once again, and he has mutas getting ready for another counterattack. The Ravagers! Oh, not good positioning here from Mondo. The Ravagers get caught out. So many of them go down. At the same time, though, there we go. The mutas go in once again into the main base, wreaking havoc, pulling apart the attention of Nice, forcing another defensive warp in. This time, though, the mutas didn't deal that much damage. There weren't so many probes left in the main to begin with. Looks like Nice is looking to hunt down these mutas, and oh, he almost catches them. Mondo, though, upon remaxing, he wants to go once again. His upgrades are a little bit lacking. I was wondering, where's +1 melee? I was shocked to see that he only has range upgrades. Without +1 melee, his lings aren't as useful as they otherwise would be. But here we go. He's going to be pushing in again. Where do we go? The third, the fourth, or the natural? Where are we pushing? Mondo is going to try and force his way in, but there are so many stalkers. Oh my god. Mutas once again diving into that main base. Not a lot of workers to kill. And roaches have a hard time trading against stalkers, to be honest. A lot of roaches are going to be going down here. The third base is under threat. The lings are getting into the mineral line. Is it going to be worth it? 10, 11 probes going down at the cost of all these roaches and ravagers, though. Oof. These are expensive losses for Mondo. Again, we overcommitted into roaches. Roaches are not what you want against stalkers. Roaches are a good support unit, but we need to focus on ling production instead. We do have lings to reinforce, but Mondo bled out so much of his army. Oh. Here we go. He's going to try to push in, but Nice may just have too much momentum here. He's ahead in army supply right now. He has so many stalkers. The lings get cleaned up, and as well as Mondo was fighting this game, it looks like the blink stalkers are too much. We have the aggressive blink the blink forward. Mondo, he has nothing left here. GG gets called, and Nice fights back and takes the series 2-1. Oh, GG. Mondo again, unfortunately maxing out on an army that just isn't really efficient. Too many roaches, Bobby. Too many roaches. Not enough lings. Nice, he likes it. He likes the roach army. It just doesn't trade well against that mass blink stalker style. And GG, congratulations to Nice. Shout out to Mondo though, because Mondo was making Nice sweat there. Like, that was a pretty close game, all things considered. Like, the muta harass was, it was doing so well for Mondo. He had so much momentum. Unfortunately, he was unable to break the third or the fourth base as that was happening. Like, he was trying desperately, and he was macroing, he was spending his money, but maybe not where it needed to be. Oof. As Nice will take the series 2-1. Oh, I should update this. There we go. Bam, bam, bam. GG. Well played. Congratulations to Nice. Condolences to Mondo, but also I hope Mondo isn't feeling too discouraged after that series. Again, for Mondo to take it to the ace match and to almost take game number 3 as well is very impressive. And I hope we get to see more of Mondo. I hope he isn't discouraged, and I hope we get to see, again, more of him in the coming KSLs, in the coming weekly tournaments.